Hi everyone, so it has been quite an annoying last few videos. The last 3 videos I've tried to record, I have just forgot to press the MacBook Air microphone. One of them was like 15 minutes, so it is quite annoying that I'll have to re-record. But anyway, but today we're going to be taking a look at the Iowa Democratic Presidential Caucus and my prediction as to who will win Iowa. So this will be a bit more condensed since I don't want to go into as much detail as some of the other videos. But pretty much today we'll be taking a look at who I think will win Iowa and who I think will be in the top 3. And I will give you a hint. There's a notable exclusion from the top 3 that I will be going over. So, Elizabeth Warren, right now the polling leader, 22.3%. And if we take a look at Elizabeth Warren, she's been on this sort of upward rise pretty much ever since she sort of about a few months into this Democratic primary. So if we go back all the way to late April, she was at 7.3%. She dipped down for a bit, but then she has been sort of on this steady rise upwards. In the past month or so, she seems to have flatlined a bit. From September 21 to November 1, she has been staying pretty much the same. But I think I've already covered that topic in a previous video. But anyway, Elizabeth Warren right now the polling leader in Iowa, and that's definitely something to take into consideration. Yeah, but if we take a look at this is the Real Clear Politics averages from 2016, the Democrats. Right now it is November the 4th. So if we go back into 4th of November, at this point Hillary Clinton was indeed leading. If we take a look at the Iowa, it doesn't come up again. If we take a look at Iowa GOP, it was sort of a more crowded field, so it'll give us a better idea. Right now, November the 4th or thereabouts. Right now, actually, Ben Carson was leading of all people, but he seemed to be on this sort of downward trajectory in that campaign. And then Trump was indeed in second place. Right now, actually, Ted Cruz, who ended up being the polling leader, was not even leading, so polls can change. But at this point, it does seem that they do sort of have it. Elizabeth Warren is in a relatively strong position. If we go ahead and take a look, here we go. Doesn't seem like that's really working. If we just go back and take a look at the latest polls, this is all from 2020. So if we go ahead, find an Iowa poll, click on it. Right now, Elizabeth Warren still leads, but as we can see from the previous 2 things, those leads can change. But at this point in the 2020 race, it seems like Warren's support has flatlined a little bit, but still, I think she could even maintain this upward trajectory. Elizabeth Warren, 22.3%. Right now, it does look quite favorable for her. Iowa, quite a white state. And she does do well with white voters, especially upper class, sort of white, wealthy liberals, women. She does quite well with those mid-age sort of folks, and so it's going to be interesting to see whether she can maintain that support. Warren at 22.3%. Now I'm gonna make a big call. I think Elizabeth Warren will win the state of Iowa. So, obviously, hear me now and quote me later, whether I'm right on this or not. But I do think Warren will win Iowa. I'll look back at this to see if I'm right after the caucus day. But Pete Buttigieg, 17.0%. That's quite impressive for the mayor from South Bend to be in second place. Right now, at this point, he's been on a very sort of vertical, if we can say that, trajectory, which is always something good to have in a campaign, to be on the upward rise. Right now, I do think Pete Buttigieg will be in the top 3. Not saying whether he's in second or third, saying he'll be in the top 3. That is, I'll be right back. Yeah, so I do think Pete Buttigieg is actually on the rise. I do think he has the potential to do well in Iowa. I don't think he'll be able to pull it out of the bag. Bernie Sanders, I do think Bernie Sanders will be able to be in the top 3. Now that does mean Joe Biden is not in the top 3. Now the reasoning behind why Sanders I think is going to do better than Biden, even though Sanders is actually doing worse than him in the polls right now, is because in a caucus state, you need committed and passionate supporters to be able to come out. Biden does not have that. He has the opposite of that. Bernie Sanders does have that, and even though he's slightly behind Biden in the polling now, it's still quite close, and I think that I don't think he'll win Iowa, but I think he will be in the top 3, and so it's going to be interesting to take a look at that. So that's it for today's video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you did enjoy this. So thank you for watching. Good night.